Hey, bet you didn't see that one coming. What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? A very happy Saturday to you, or if you're in other parts of the world, a very happy Friday to you. So, let me take this off. That's better. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having an absolute cracker of a day. Let me just get this chat up right here. Hope everything's coming through okay. If there's any difficulties, technical difficulties, please just let me know, especially with audio, video. If you guys saw the first stream a couple of weeks ago, yeah, that was tough. That was very tough. Guys, thank you. Thank you. Cakes by Chopper. Hello, mate. Oh my God, man. It's been a while. Guys, if you haven't, head over to Cakes by Chopper. He does some wonderful, wonderful work. Thank you, man. Sounds good, looks good. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So this is kind of, I wouldn't say spur of the moment, but I definitely want to try my hand at live streaming more on the weekend when kind of everyone's home and it's just more relaxed, chilled, and more people can come along, have a chat, shoot the shit, stuff like that. So, hello, Chris. Kind of scared me with that spawn mask. Thanks, Wyatt. I'll take that as a compliment, good sir. So, yeah, again, like it's a very rainy Saturday here in Sydney today, and I figured I've got some stuff to talk about. I've got some stuff to show you guys. So, I figured let's just go live. So, like the title suggests, we're going to be doing a Samurai Spawn update because holy shit, it has been a long time coming. I started Samurai Spawn 2 years ago, May of 2020. Can you believe it? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I always from the get-go said with Samurai Spawn, I'm going to work on it in my own time. And I think I really should say that up front with all of my cosplays. Because I what I've learned is like back in the day, I used to do, oh, here's my cosplay lineup video for 2020 and announcing all the cosplays I do. And I end up doing like a couple of them. So I think you put a lot of pressure on yourself when you give yourself an end date sometimes with cosplays or projects in general. You kind of psych yourself out. And from the get-go with Samurai Spawn, I'd always said that I'm going to work on him in my own time, which I definitely have. And it's been over 2 years. But the end game for Samurai Spawn is Oz Comic Con Sydney, which is just under a month away. So plenty of time. So I've got Samurai Spawn chilling. Welcome everyone coming along in the chat, testing limits. Justin Stoddard, my dear good friend. Hello, sir. The FB9. Hi, Chris. Huge fan. Been watching since I was but a young one. Ooh, but a young one. Thank you for watching, man. Welcome, everyone. Again, I will be doing a Q&A at the end of this video, but I'll also be answering questions here and there if I see things pop up in terms of what I'm talking about. But yeah, again, this is just going to be a Samurai Spawn update. What still needs to be done to the costume? We're then going to be talking Halloween ends because a lot has happened this week and a lot has been announced and a lot has been shown in terms of a new Fangoria cover. We also have an announcement video from Jamie Lee Curtis regarding Halloween Ends is not only going to be in cinemas, but they're also going to be streaming it on Peacock. So I'm going to be touching on that. And also, again, this is very last minute in terms of a topic, Hellraiser on Hulu. Like, I'm fascinated by this because there's nothing at the moment except a real vague teaser trailer. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today, followed by a Q&A and just shooting the shit. So wherever you are in the world, hope you're having a cracker of a day. If it's Friday where you are, happy Friday. It's Saturday here and it's very rainy, very grim outside. So I also am working on a project for PlayStation at the moment. I'm going to just give you the littlest sneak peek and then I'm going to... that's it. That's all you get. That's all you get. So that's due this coming Friday. Frantically putting it all together. I have to do a video on it too. So there will be a video on the entire build process. So this was very last minute. The Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast sends in £8.99. Darren, hello, my dear friend. For your amazing channel and talents. Thank you so much, man. Guys, if you haven't already, head over to the Slaughtered Lamb Podcast. Frank and Darren are just the absolute salts of the earth. They have genuine engraved on their bones. Did a video with them a couple of weeks ago, ranking at our personal rankings of the Nightmare on Elm Street films, and it's just the best. Just doing videos with them and just chatting with them. They're absolutely wonderful people. So thank you so much for that. I actually did a video this morning with Jimmy Champagne. We recorded a video that's going to be going on his channel. He received some of my Michael Myers hands, which was really cool. So we just kind of did a bit of a back and forth, and I told Jimmy about the process of making those Michael Myers hands and just also talking Halloween ends. So again, like with Frank and Darren, Jimmy's just an absolute treat to talk to. So Darren, thank you so much, mate. That means a lot. Hello to everyone coming in. My mum is here, Chris Stanley. Now, in the first stream a couple of weeks ago, someone thought mum was an imposter, someone impersonating my mum. So if you see Chris with a K, K-R-I-S Stanley, that's my mum. It's actually legitimately my mum, not an imposter. Hello, mum. Read Comics, g'day. G'day, mate. Jose Bedden, awesome cosplay. Thank you, man. I'll be touching on that. Astronaut Lemire. Hola, amigo. Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo estás? Tell you what, it's nearly cerveza o'clock. I hope I pronounced that correct. I think that's beer in Spanish. Cerveza? Correct me if I'm wrong. I've always wanted to learn Spanish. So anyway, we've got a lot to talk about. So I've just shown you what I'm working on for PlayStation. Now I'm going to have to move my chair to show you guys something else. So this is going to be part of next week's video. This is kind of like an artist showcase. So I don't know if a lot of you guys remember the horror movie called House from 1985. If you ever remember going to the video shop and seeing the VHS of the horror movie House with the severed zombie hand ringing the doorbell. A wonderful friend of mine who is about 8 hours from where I am, goes by the name of Nathan, built a 3D poster of the House poster. And it's huge and it's heavy and it's all in 3D. So that is going to be next week's video showcasing this and the build process. And yes, one of my LEDs is a love heart, as you can see right there. But yeah, just the work that has gone into this is absolutely incredible. And I'm now in possession of one. It's so cool. So cool. So I can't wait to show you guys that because Nathan put his heart and soul into this. Only 3 of these exist in the world. So yeah, I've got all the photos Nathan sent me of sculpting the hand. He did a matrix mold and it was just incredible. So it's just very like awkward and heavy to show you guys. So that's going to be next week's video. So anyway, without being said, yes, guys, actually this has inspired me to do a 3D Nightmare on Elm Street poster. So I'm sorry if I'm like constantly grabbing stuff. I've got stuff scattered around that I want to show you guys. So again, like Samurai Spawn, this has been in the works for quite some time, doing a 3D poster of the original Nightmare on Elm Street poster. So I still need to add the eyes and everything into the skull. I've got the bone claw as well, because as you know, on the first poster, it's not Freddy's traditional glove, it's the bone claw. So with all the tendons and the stainless steel plating and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to finally doing that and having it all displayed, much in the vein of Nathan's house poster display. So that's going to be very, very cool. Mr. Polka.06, you hear that the new Friday the 13th movie will come out next year? Yes, I did. I actually watched Jimmy Champagne's video this morning on it. I don't know if you caught it. Yeah, it's crazy. And it's crazy the whole shit show, essentially, that's been going on legally with it, with the rights and who owns the rights. I didn't even know. So I'm keen to see how this is going to go. I definitely want them to do something different. I love the 2009 remake. I think it's criminally underrated. I think it's a very cool film. I love the fact that Jason is like a survivalist and he's like a brawler. So I'm keen for it, man. Fakanga? Is that how I pronounce it? When will you upload the Cover All Kills video? So if I've got time this week, man, I'd love to film it this week and then have it uploaded the following week. So I am working on a commission this week and then also doing the video on Nathan's house display. So if I've got time, definitely love to film it this coming week, edit it and have it ready to go the following week. So it's going to come out in the next couple of weeks, definitely, because it's drawing in closer to Halloween ends and I want to have it around when it is coming about. So yeah, Mr. Polkadot, I watched 3C Films. Yes, 3C Films is onto it, man. That guy is just like, he's crazy dedicated. I love his content. He's onto it. Cakes by Chopper. Chris, sorry, a bit off topic. Thoughts on Robson Optimus Prime? Ooh, if that's the one I'm thinking of, I don't know if it's the one I'm thinking of, man. I don't know if it is the one I'm thinking of, actually. Is that like a die cast one? Because I don't know if you know him, my good friend Miles and I, he's got the big fuck off Optimus Prime, the big beautiful die cast one, and we were going to dismantle it and do a custom collectible on it. But when we realized how many pieces there are, we're like, we got to put more thought into this because this is going to be a big video. But yeah, Miles has the massive one. So yeah, I don't know if that is the one I'm thinking of, man. Is it a smaller scale one? Because I know, Chopper, you love your Transformers, man. They're coming out with some cracker ones too lately, like stuff that I wish we had when we were kids. Mind you, like the original Transformers are awesome. The original toys were just very, very cool. So yeah, now Samurai Spawn. As I said, it's been 2 years in the making. Started it in May 2020, and I always said I was going to finish it in my own time. And finally, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish it for Oz Comic Con Sydney. So as you see here, this is one version of the helmet with LEDs in it. The only thing, your vision is severely impaired once these LEDs go on. So the bulbs are on either side. If you're out in broad daylight, you can see perfectly. But as soon as I put it on in, say, my apartment where it's artificial light, it's weird. It doesn't like it at all. And your vision is just completely gone. So outside is fine. And for the most part, I will be outside at the con. But at the same time, I do love this variation with the tusks. This is originally what Henry Creations made for me with the tusks, but then I went ahead and cast up another one, ground the tusks off, and did like a shroud kind of thing. So it is based off one of the recent comics of Spawn that Todd McFarlane did and illustrated. It's like a ninja Spawn. So again, I want some variation, but I think I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board and definitely rethink these lenses. So there is like a webbing pattern on them. It might be a matter of getting some green tinted perspex without the grid pattern and then rigging up my own LEDs on the side. And that way you definitely are going to see a lot better. The only thing is you may be able to see my eyes, but I think once everything's on and, you got the hood and whatnot, it's going to be fine. So the hood is actually going to be Velcroed to the sides of the helmet just so it keeps that nice kind of shape. It's like, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn's robes, hoods when it's up like that. And also I'm going to have it so when the mask can just come up like that with the hood so I can see, have a breather and pop it back down for photos and stuff like that. So what needs to be done is this bodysuit needs to be glued down to the muscle suit. So this Lycra bodysuit, the pattern itself is done by Frontier Costuming. And then it was printed by John Ninko of Ninko Creations in the UK. I'm pretty sure John's in the UK. So it looks good now, but because the chest is very flat, because the Lycra is stretched over the muscle suit, it needs to be glued down. So I am going to be using a 3M brand contact adhesive. It's 3M90. If you guys have ever dealt with that, apparently you can like glue yourself to the wall. It is strong stuff because you got to keep in mind there's going to be sweat in this stuff, and sweat can also break down adhesives and stuff like that. And that's why they make multiple costumes for film, because they break, they tear, actors sweat in them, and it can break down the glue. So it's crazy. Like sweat can be a natural solvent. It's crazy. Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast. Got to go, Chris. We'll catch up on this tomorrow. It's damn late here. Be well, mate. Thank you, Darren. Take care, mate. Have a good sleep, and yeah, chat soon. And thank you again for the amazing support. So yeah, guys, like I said, I will be answering questions here and there, but also just doing a proper Q&A at the end of this video. So like I was saying, I got to go and buy some 3M90 contact adhesive. It is so hard to find it here in Sydney. I've got the 3M under it. It's like 3M60 or something. You can get that at any local art store, but the 3M90, you have to go to a specialty tool place. Like there's a shop down the road called Sydney Tools that stocks it. Other than that, you can't find it anywhere. It's like industrial strength. So I need something that's going to withstand the hottest season, because the con is next month and it is starting to warm up a bit here in Sydney. And when you've got all this on, you're covered in urethane foam, Lycra, and then obviously EVA foam here. It just does not breathe at all. Watch YT. Hey Chris, Alex from Brazil here, your biggest Brazilian fan. Oh, Alex, yes, hello my friend. You are a powerfully creative cosplayer in this world. Samurai Spawn rules. Thank you so much, man. Alex is actually a very talented illustrator and artist. Dude, we've been following each other for a very long time. That's awesome. Faceless McGee. I don't know why. Whenever you add McGee to the end of something, it just makes it so much more funnier. Hang on, sorry, man. Let me just go back. So just logged onto this and want to say that you have taught me everything I know about cosplay, and I'm working on a Battinson
cosplay for Halloween, although I'm 3D printing the armor plates. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, look, if you have to 3D print it, 3D print it. I myself need to upgrade, we'll do the video on upgrading my Battinson suit. I've foregone the traditional Battinson cowl. I'm actually going to be using the Hernandez Effects hybrid cowl that Hernandez and Josh Clark did together, and I've got the lenses in it. I just feel more comfortable in it. I think it just suits my face a lot better. I don't have like a jaw that could cut granite like Pattinson. I really think you have to have a strong jaw for that cowl. Some cosplayers look incredible in a Pattinson cowl. I just feel, I don't know, I feel kind of like how Affleck looks in Justice League, where it like mushes his face and he's like a chubby cherub. So that is in the pipeline too. Once Samurai Spawn's done, like Samurai Spawn's a priority at the moment, and then Eddie. So the Dio shirt arrived. That's got to be put on the back as a patch. The badges have arrived. Thank fuck. The Leviathan patch arrived. I'm going to be printing the other two patches, Megadeth and Iron Maiden. I'm going to be printing them and just contacted hearing them because they were sold out most places on Etsy and they're going to take too long to get here. So the Eddie's next because Eddie is actually going to be going to Canada. Funny enough. So yeah, what we're going to be doing is contacted hearing this down. I'm only going to be contacted hearing the torso because everything else is pretty much going to be covered up for the most part. And I just feel having muscle definition here is a must, especially when it comes to Spawn. Now, if you guys remember, I did make torso armor for Samurai Spawn. It is still an option. The only thing is it's sat flat for so long. Certain parts of the fabric have started to lift because I didn't use a strong enough contact adhesive. And because the original chest armor was curved, to go the curvature of your chest and your torso and your obliques and stuff like that, when it flattens out, the fabric that I glued down with the contact adhesive starts to lift. So it's still an option, but I definitely do have to repair it. So once everything's glued, I've got to take it for a road test, do, flex test, make sure that fabric is going to stay put on that muscle suit. I then got to go in and weather the hood and the cape. I want the cape to almost appear burnt because his tunic here, his little groin cover tunic here is all kind of burnt and stuff like that. I've also got like Hessian pouches I'm going to be having along here as well as these little vials here just filled with like kind of like green tinted resin as like a little bandolier belt along here. So he's got like potions and stuff like that. I do want to cast up a skull from the same mold as this guy and have it all gory and stuff and have like a rope tied around it. Just as like a trophy, kind of like in the vein of Predator. If I can find one, put like a spine in it, I think that'd just be really gnarly and very Spawn-esque. And in terms of the gloves, like most of you guys have seen the gloves if you saw my last update video, whenever the hell that was. So yeah, these are the gloves. Pretty happy with how these turned out. These are just Devil Halloween gloves that I cut the fingers off and got a really high-end leather glove from Bunnings, cut the fingers off and glued them in place. So there's no like extra bulk in the glove. It's just literally these parts of the latex fingers resting here. So you've got more mobility. It's a lot more comfortable instead of slipping the full glove through the leather glove. And then that is the same texture as his little side flaps here, which I took a mold of my mum and dad's laundry basket, believe it or not. And then we've got the knuckles there. Each individual one is a casting from an old Spawn figure that I had years ago. He's like that big. It's the old school one you got back in the day. And I just cast up his belt buckle and just glued them on, kind of like knuckle dusters. So they are comfy, but I want to make this costume as efficient as possible in terms of getting it on and off. And I think that's what a lot of cosplayers aim for. You want it to be practical. Like you don't want to have to be constantly Velcroing everything and having people, like a whole village of people tie you up at the back. That's why the shoulder armor, the hood, the cape, the neck seal are all one piece. So you literally just slot it all on. The only thing is, I think the latex neck seal is starting to harden a bit. So I might put a seam up the back there just so you can Velcro it on and off. But for the most part, everything is just going to be on. Easy done. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of footwear. And I don't know the proper name. if someone knows in the chat, please let me know. The two-toed like ninja footwear that ninjas wear, samurais wear with so look, you essentially look like you got Ninja Turtle feet. So I've got a pair of them, and then I'm going to be using the same red fabric as you see here and pre-wrap up to my calf and glue everything and then slit it down the front. So you just literally put it on and off like a sock, like an open-ended sock. And that way you don't have to worry about wrapping it. And then if the wrapping comes loose, it'll all kind of shrivel down. Whereas you glue it in place and then it's just going to make life a lot more easier. So that is the game plan with Samurai Spawn. And obviously I want to do a photo shoot with it and a video shoot. And then obviously like the wrap up video and, the full reveal and stuff like that and what needs to be done. So I'll be filming the footage of gluing the muscle suit down, then all the finishing touches and stuff like that. So I'm just finally at peace that it's going to be done. I'm happy. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. Ideally as well, I would love to have like drill holes in the grill here and as wanky tabby boots. Yes. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one, Chopper. Thank you, man. Yeah, so I did buy a pair of them off eBay. So I've got to weather them up and then do the red wraps and stuff like that. I would love to drill holes in the grill and as wanky as it sounds, have like a vape and then vape smoke out. But I don't like vaping. I don't like any of that. Like I've never been a smoker. Vaping just seems so scary. But there are other like smoke machines you can get and stuff like that with like lung friendly smoke. It's not even really smoke. It's more like a steam. So again, that's long. That's pipeline. As long as I just get everything else done, I am happy. But also the lenses, because like the biggest thing about Spawn is those eyes, those glaring eyes. And I love in the film Michael Jai White's Spawn how that green smoke illuminates from his eyes. And the photo I put up on Instagram last night, if anyone caught it, that was just off Google. I just got a PNG file of green smoke. So I'm like, oh, I just want to add it there for effect. And someone's like, dude, if that green smoke's legit, that's so cool. I'm like, oh, I wish it was. So yeah, that's a Samurai Spawn update. Now, let's talk about Halloween Ends. So Halloween Ends is coming out October 14th in the States, I believe. We're getting it on the 13th, so it's not that much of a difference. But interestingly enough, a few days ago, they put a video out with Jamie Lee Curtis in her traditional 1978 Laurie Strode attire minus her wig, but she introduces herself as Jamie Lee Curtis, and she goes on to say, I portrayed Laurie Strode for over 40 decades, not 40 decades, holy shit, not 400 years, 4 decades now. And we're here to announce that not only is Halloween Ends going to be in cinemas, but we're also going to be streaming on Peacock, which is interesting. And I chatted about this with Jimmy Champagne this morning. It's a bold move. Now, I understand why they're going for cinema release and Peacock. There are still people out there in the world, and I totally understand it. And hell, some of you might be like 40 decades. Yeah, I know, right, man? She's looking good for her age, Kenneth. There are people out there that are still, not so sure about going out into the big wide world, and let alone going into a cinema and stuff like that. So I understand that's where Blumhouse is coming from in terms of releasing it on Peacock. I just feel it may damage the overall box office of Halloween Ends. They had no choice but to release it in cinemas and stream it on Peacock last year for Halloween Kills because of the pandemic. Like we were right in the thick of it and lockdowns were happening and stuff like that. So I totally understand that for Kills, but for Ends, it may damage the overall box office, which would be a shame. Because I said to Jimmy this morning, I want this film to go out with a bang in the best way possible. Like you want the film to do well. If you're a fan of Halloween, the Halloween franchise, Michael Myers, horror in general, you want a horror film to do well because it's such a niche genre. It's kind of that alternative genre. And hell, like I want it to do well with the critics. I want it to do well at the box office and then have that trilogy complete. Like David Gordon Green's trilogy complete and be like, yes, that went out with a bang. Kills was a bit of stagnation, but Ends was absolutely brilliant. And I hope that they wrap it up perfectly. But also, when you are streaming on Peacock, you're going to run the risk. As soon as it's up on Peacock, people are going to be torrenting it and stuff like that. Because as soon as it's streaming, people are just going to, rip it, put it on torrent sites. And that can definitely hurt the box office, which sucks a lot. But it was a very fun video that Jamie Lee Curtis did. And Michael's in the background behind a tree, weaving in and out of shot, and she's looking back. But it was essentially just to announce that not only is it going to be in cinemas, but Halloween Ends is also going to be on Peacock. So I'm going to be there opening day. I hope they got a premiere here in Sydney. They went all out for the premiere of Halloween 2018. Jamie Lee Curtis actually came along, which was really cool. She had a quick chat to myself and my mate who was dressed as Michael. She's just so cool. She's just such a cool character. But obviously last year, nothing happened because of lockdown. I hope they go all out this year with a premiere or just a screening or something like that here in Sydney, is because they've been doing that a lot lately, like with Nope and the Black Phone. So I really think they've got no choice but to go all out. Like it's fine that it's going to be on Peacock for people that aren't ready to go out yet, or just their beliefs are, they don't wish to do certain things. And, I don't want to get all political and all like and stuff like that. If they choose not to get vaccinated, that's totally up to them. That's totally up to them. That's fine. They don't want to go out in the big bad world. That's fine. More power to you. We each have our own outlooks and stuff like that. So it does cater to those people who are happy to stay at home. But again, you just want it to do the absolute best for the box office, because then that can mean, even though this trilogy is wrapped up and Blumhouse no longer have the rights, it means that other people can then pick up the rights and then possibly do something with Halloween 3. Who knows? Who knows? And I definitely want to see that. I want to see them do something with Halloween 3. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But amongst this video, we also got some new still images, and an interesting one for that. Not only did we get a new poster, which I'm kind of on the fence about. It's Laurie and Michael back to back, and they're kind of looking off into the distance. And it kind of reminds me of like Royal Rumble or Batman v Superman. I kind of want something a bit more subdued, and maybe like, each side of their face, like one side of their face together, looking down, like, real dark, grungy, and have the mask all moldy and stuff like that. But Michael looks great. Michael looks absolutely stinky in that poster. The coveralls just look sooty and disgusting, and it makes sense. Like, it's a 4-year time gap. Like that, like Michael will be so moldy and stinky, it's ridiculous. And it's interesting, like his hands all healed, and I'm trying to get a close look at how it's healed, and like the makeup that Christopher Nelson's done, it just looks absolutely brilliant. So amongst that poster, we also got a still shot of Laurie screaming. It looks like at the bottom of her staircase, or a staircase, and then also a shot of Michael at the foot of the staircase, I think. And it's some beautiful looking wallpaper. I want that wallpaper in my house. It looks amazing. But the interesting thing is, I brightened the image of Michael, and it looks like either it's just really well hid, and it's just the way it was shot. It looks like the gun wound in his mask, that one there, is gone. Again, this hones back to the whole Corey Cunningham imposter, copycat killer that we've been hearing so much about. And also there are some people saying, even Jimmy brought it up this morning, Jimmy Champagne, the new Fangoria cover of Laurie and Michael, and it's a front-on shot of Michael. It doesn't look like him. It's weird. I don't know if you guys felt the same. If you've seen the cover, it looks very different. Like very, very different in terms of what James Ducournau looks like as the shape. Or it could just be one of those things because there's been such a jump in time. It's been 4 years, because originally Halloween Ends was supposed to take place the exact same night as 2018 and Halloween Kills. But then the pandemic hit, and then David Gordon Green, Danny McBride went back to the drawing board and made it 4 years later. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of it. So again, I'm going into it with an open mind. I just would have loved to have seen it take place in the same night, have that original ending of Laurie hearing Karen being killed on the phone, and then she grabs that knife, walks out of the hospital. That's where Kills ends, and Ends picks up right where Kills left off, and it's Laurie hunting Michael. The hunter has now become the hunted. That would have been cool. Regardless, this is what we're getting. And Jamie Lee Curtis also said something very interesting in that initial video where they announced it's going to be in cinemas and on Peacock. She goes, you might want to go to see it at the cinemas and then go see it on Peacock. And I'm like, and then people even started saying, does this mean there's going to be 2 cuts of the film? Like, can you imagine if they did that? The balls to do that. It would, I don't want to say it would break the internet, but it would definitely divide a lot of people, 2 separate cuts. Because remember, there were 2 separate cuts of the film shown for the test screenings. One went very well, one went very, very bad. And then they had those subsequent reshoots. And then they had another test screening in Las Vegas, and it was just one cut of the film that apparently got a standing ovation. I don't know how true that is. Dave McRae did a very good video on it saying he doesn't think it got a standing ovation. It might have just been one person standing up That's pretty much it. I'm just going to answer some questions here, just playing catch up. Excuse me, guys. Like I said, we will be shooting the shit at the end of this, but also I just want to be answering some questions here and there. So yes, Tabby Boots, 40 decades. Are we going to see a breakdown video of the Phantom cosplay? Jake Goodwin. Yes, absolutely, man. So I'm actually going to be doing a photo shoot. I have sourced a white horse from the lovely Karen at Heavy Horse 7 who has Diesel that I did my Witcher shoot on. She's got a beautiful white horse that I'm going to be doing a shoot on as the Phantom. And then, of course, just the breakdown video. So it's all going to be the same video. I'll be in the workshop being like, hey, here we go. This is what the finished suit looks like. Here's the cowl, the bodysuit. This is what I did to it. Enjoy the following footage and photos and stuff like that. Like, you know how breakdown and reveal videos go, man. So yes, that is coming. The shoot is September 10th down at Heavy Horse Heaven. So that'll be really fun. We're also trying to source a dog that looks similar to Devil. Obviously, we can't find a wolf anywhere, especially in Australia. And wolves have a habit of eating people. So, yeah, that's happening on the 10th of September, man. That's when the shoot's initially going to happen. Then, obviously, I'll have to do the breakdown video, edit it. And, yeah, so expect that in September. Let me see. Read comics. How do you get invited to Sydney premieres? I don't really know, man. It just happened one day where just you get an email like, hey, do you want to come to a premiere? But also I have a manager, wonderful management, Digital Fox, who also help attain tickets for premieres, screenings, stuff like that, and events. So if you haven't, like, it's one of the things you can always just ask and reach out, stuff like that. So it's usually the PR company that'll give you an email. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It's very sporadic, actually, with how it all works. So I forget the very first email I got for a screening. God, it was years and years ago. But yeah, like now and then, you'll get ones for, it'll be Disney, stuff like that. So I've got the premiere of Rings of Power next week. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then I forget what else is coming up. Keep in mind, though, like I was amping up for Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Aquaman, but they've been moved to next year. Crazy times, obviously, what's going on with Ezra Miller at the moment and whether they're going to be doing reshoots or just scrap the film entirely. I really do hope that they get help, and they are getting help from the sounds of it because, yeah, they have a lot to answer for. It must be damage control at Warner Brothers at the moment, like serious damage control. Wyatt Ennis, I have a feeling that ends will be good. I just hope that they don't kill Laurie. Yes, okay, I get where you're coming from, man. One part of me wants to see Laurie and Michael go down a blaze of glory together because remember, she did drop that line in Kills, as he takes my head, I'll take his head. And I'm paraphrasing. I would like to see her live, but it would be cool to see if both of them go out together and then, Allison kind of not takes on the mantle because everything has to wrap up. But I feel because it's been such a big legacy for her that they both have to go down together. But at the same time, I want to see Laurie kick Michael's ass. But at the same time, you kind of root for Michael. It's like in the same vein of Freddy and Jason. These guys become so big and so popular with pop culture. You end up rooting for the villain. So I'm all for whatever happens, whether Laurie and Michael die, Laurie dies, Michael lives and just wanders off, as Dave McRae says, into the ether. Or if Laurie kills Michael and he's dead and buried for sure, burnt, cremated, dust, absolute dust. Either of the three, I'm happy for, man. But I totally get where you're coming from because hell, she's freaking screen queen. There's Heather Langenkamp, Jamie Lee Curtis, Nev Campbell. Also, Nev Campbell, no idea what's going to be happening with future Scream films with her. There's a lot that's been going on with her involvement or lack of. I do believe it was like a pay dispute, but I honestly don't know. I do remember Sean Clark asking her about it, and she was like, it's all bullshit. I don't know what's going on. So again, like the power of media and what people will just write for a quick headline. So what else we got here? I hope I pronounce this correctly. Morn Cloetti. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Just don't name it Halloween if they go the anthology with it. Yeah, dude, 100%. 100%. If they had have called Halloween 3 just Season of the Witch back when it came out, it just instantly would have been amazing. But because they marketed it kind of like it's Halloween 3, the night no one came home, everyone's kind of like, well, okay, cool, Michael Myers in it. And technically he is, because they show Halloween on the TV in the film, and it's kind of like breaking the fourth wall, so to speak. But yeah, or they could do the whole Halloween Presents as, not a subtitle thing, but, Halloween Presents Season of the Witch. I reckon if that had been like that as well, but ultimately like just Season of the Witch just would have worked fine. But I think if you have like, it's like how they do like National Lampoon Presents, or to a lesser extent, American Pie Presents, with all those bloody American Pie films. Like there's like Bandcamp, and I can't even name the rest off the top of my head. To me, American Pie 1, 2, and American Reunion are the best. That's my trilogy of American Pie films. Wyatt Ennis, I will wonder, where did Michael go for the past 4 years? So I know where he's gone for the past 4 years. I obviously don't want to say on here. I don't want to spoil for anyone, but yeah, there is a reason why the working title of the film was Cave Dweller, Wyatt. It's interesting, the stuff I hear, and if it is true, it's going to be an interesting film. I'll just say that. Anthony Politis? I hope I pronounced that correctly, sir. Chris, did you see Freddy's Nightmares is getting a Blu-ray release? No, holy shit. No, I did not. I was watching it. It's streaming on, oh God, it's got a funny name. Some streaming platform like Tubi, Yui, or something like that. That's amazing. I want that. I definitely want that. I know someone remastered it for DVD years and years and years ago. But yeah, man, I definitely want that. That would be sick. I love the first 2 episodes that were directed by Toby Hooper, No More Mr. Nice Guy Part 1 and 2. It's really cool. It's like, this is what we could have gotten with a Nightmare on Elm Street prequel film, even though it's a bit cheesy. But I love Freddy's Nightmares, dude. Even if it's just like Freddy's just like the Crypt Keeper, he like introduces it, but now and then he's involved with certain episodes. And it's really fun. Like, it's, the acting's god awful. The budgets are like that big, but they're just great. It's like Freddy's dead. It's so bad. It's good. But I did not know it's getting a Blu-ray release, dude. That's awesome. I'm going to have to look into that. I'd be interesting to see if they do a release here in Australia with our region. I'm not really up to date if everything's still region locked now. Remember back in the day when you got a not a Blu-ray, DVD player that was like, it wasn't region locked, a multi-region DVD player. I remember when Dad got one, an Onkyo DVD player in 2002. It cost us $800 for a DVD player, but it was multi-region, and it was like the most mind-blowing thing ever, because I had my Nightmare on Elm Street DVD that I got in Honolulu years and years ago in like 2001, and I could never play it because you put it in the DVD-ROM. The DVD-ROM's like, hey, you got 3 more goes, and then we're region locking it for region 1, which I believe is the States. I think region 1 is the United States, and we're region 4. That was like a big hoo-ha back in the day if you had a multi-region DVD player, man. So hopefully it is available here. If not, they stream it or something like that. But that is cool. It's finally getting the Blu-ray treatment. I'm guessing it's Scream Factory that's doing it. Correct me if I'm wrong, man. But yeah, Scream Factory usually do all that type of stuff. E.H. Anonymous. Hello, Chris. Hello. Faceless McGee. So do you guys think they could pull off having like 3 mil respirator with a Battinson cosplay? Put my own spin on it. Use some at the home. I mean, yeah, man. Absolutely. That's like, kit bashing and doing like a hybrid with my bat suit, just because I don't feel comfortable in the Pattinson cowl. But that's just me. That's just how I go about it. I just feel more comfortable in the Hernandez effects cowl. Okay, so here's a very good question. VNK Richards, are we going to see that Witcher 2 armor cosplay, Chris? No, man. So I know I did a video announcing it, and this hones back to the beginning of the stream when I said I really shouldn't say I'm going to be doing these cosplays, definitely. And in one of my cosplay announcement videos, it was last year, I think it was last year, I said I was going to be doing season 2 Witcher armor. It kind of fizzled out. My interest just fizzled out. I'm going to be honest, I haven't even watched season 2 of The Witcher, man. The first season was good. I just more or less love the aesthetic of Henry and Henry's armor. I was fascinated with it in season 1. And then season 2 armor rolled around. It looks good. I actually did make the armor from here up for a bust using a live cast of Henry that someone from Texas commissioned me to make. So I think I did post it on my Instagram. It was like a work in progress shot. And yeah, I did the EVA armor in foam from here up with the wig and all that. So that was the closest I got to it, man. So yeah, look, I'm all for transparency. I won't be doing the season 2 armor. Just the interest fizzled out. And I'd like to think a lot of cosplayers can relate to that. You know, there's that meme of the car going a separate way on the highway, you know, cosplay working on distracted by another cosplay. I'm very easily distracted, and that's just what happens. One thing pops up, and then another thing happens. Like I've got my whiteboard there with all video ideas. I've got custom collectibles, prop videos / cosplay, and then movie theme videos. And it's when I can get to them. Like I said, I've got a commission for PlayStation at the moment, and that was very last minute. So I have to put all stuff on hold for the channel until that's done. Even though there's going to be a video with that, there still is a due date for it, if that makes sense. So each morning I wake up, I'm like, I have no idea what the hell's going to happen today, but hell yeah, love being my own boss. So yeah, man, I hope I answered that question. Search Izumi, love your channel. Greetings from Mexico. Hola, amigo. Always wanted to go to Mexico. I will touch on Hellraiser in a tick, guys. I'm just going to answer some more questions. Anonymous, Chris, do you know how long you'll be streaming? I don't really have like a set time, man. Like usually hour and a half. Whenever I feel people are getting sick of my face, that's usually when like if it's a big stream, maybe like 2 hours. So yeah, that usually like between an hour and 2, which is like if that's pretty big, but let's meet in the middle. Hour and a half. At the moment, we're up to 41 minutes, so we're doing pretty well so far. Ultimate Carnage. Hi, Chris, huge fan. Off topic question, but how is the cosplay, Chris cosplay coming along? It is happening. I've got the chest emblem in storage there, and I've got to move shit to get to it. So chest emblem's done. Belt mold is done. I messaged Ryan Jenkins the other day, who did this bodysuit, who's also doing the Avatar bodysuit. He's currently on vacation in the States, a much-deserved vacation. When he gets back, he's going to be doing that. I'll then have John Ninko print it like this. Muscle suit's done. I've got 6 meters of the cape fabric, which I bought 3 years ago, knowing this is the fabric I want to use. It was at this obscure little fabric shop in Cogra, which is like half an hour from here. And it's owned by this delightful little old lady. And they just have the most obscure fabric, stuff you'd never see at Lincraft Spotlight, or if you're in the States, Joann's. Is it Joann's? It's the fabric shop over there. So as soon as I saw this fabric, it's like this nice royal blue with a nice texture. I'm like, that's the fabric I want. So because Chloe's a seamstress, I'm a streamstress right now. Chloe is a seamstress, and she's going to be helping with the pleats and all that, and how the cape is going to be folding in, and whether I'm going to have a neck seal. So again, like Samurai Spawn, when I can get to it, but as soon as Ryan gets underway with the bodysuit and I have that printed, then I think that's going to really bring everything home in terms of finishing it. Because apart from that, I just have accessories at the moment, if that makes sense. I need the bodysuit here to be like, okay, I can glue the chest emblem down. All right, now for the belt, I want this color scheme so it matches, you know, this part of the fabric. The cool thing is the texture on the bodysuit is going to be all little C's, like the Batfleck suit or the Robin suit from Titans. It's all little R's. And I love that. I love that they do that with specialty costuming. So hopefully that answered your question. And I'm very gassy again today. I had pancakes this morning. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, guys, you're talking amongst yourselves. I like it. Talk amongst yourselves. That's beautiful. All right. So moving on to Hellraiser, that is going to be streaming on Hulu. I have an article here. It's really weird. They've been announcing it for ages about this new Hellraiser film, and then series is going to be streaming on Hulu. And then all of a sudden, we're apparently getting it. When are we getting it? October 7. And we've got a very small little teaser trailer that doesn't give away much. Apparently there's a female actress portraying Pinhead, which is totally fine, because if you know the mythology of Pinhead, there's no real gender given. I'm paraphrasing. Clive Barker said, it's not male, it's not female, it just is, which is really cool. So I'm keen to see how that's going to turn out. But yeah, we have this obscure little trailer. It doesn't give away much, and it's supposed to be coming out in October. I'm really keen for it. I don't think Hellraiser gets enough love. I love the first and second together. Third is when the production went American. So you have this with 1 and 2. It was all a British production, and then it went over to the States. I think they were selling with the rights that went over and stuff like that. So I'm keen for it. I'm keen for a different take on it. I am always like keen to see how they go with this character, because holy hell, that the Hellraiser films are just it's just ridiculous. I still remember being a kid and seeing Hellraiser Bloodline in the video store when it first came out on video. I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. If you guys don't know, Kevin Yeager, who did Freddy's makeup in Elm Street 2, 3, 4, directed Bloodline, and he had such a shit experience. He took his name off the directing credit and used a synonym, Alan Smithy. I think it's Alan Smithy. If a director doesn't want their name in the director credits, they use the synonym Alan Smithy. So, yeah, there's a whole documentary on it that Gary J. Turnercliffe did on it, who was the makeup artist and directed Hellraiser Judgment. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was Doug Bradley's makeup artist, and then went on to direct a Hellraiser film, and was the auditor in one of them in all makeup. And yeah, he said it was just, pun intended, a hellish experience. So I'm keen. I want this to be gritty, violent, and it is rated R for graphic nudity, gore, and I'm like, perfect. That's all I need to hear. So I'm keen for that. Very, very keen for that. I did see a super chat come in. Stand by, everyone. Owlwatch, $4.99 from Owlwatch. Thank you so much. Are you reading any comics? I'm reading Dark Knights of Steel plus Black Adam tie-in. Also, did you have a favorite Hellfire Gala outfit? I'm not reading any comics at the moment, my friend. I'm not a massive comic reader, as the flick pick would do. I'm obsessed with the Earth 1 graphic novels. I do love them. I do love going back and reading them, like Batman, Earth 1, Earth 2. I think they're just brilliant storytelling. I would love to see Earth 1, Earth 2 done live on screen, whether it be a series or a full-length film. I think it'd be wonderful. So funny enough, I do have them here. Stand by, talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to reach them without knocking anything over. I love buying old comics from my childhood. So firstly, I'll show you my Pirate Batman comic that was illustrated by a brilliant artist and dear friend, Robbie. I do have Batman vs. the Predator, which a fan sent me. This is my pride and joy, even though it's not worth much. It's worth a lot to me. Simpsons issue 1. This is one of the issue 1s. There is another variant cover, but this is the one I had when I was a kid. Issue 1 came with the Bartman and Radioactive Man poster, and it smells like grandpa. Smells like vintage. We also have another Batman vs. Predator comic. Another Batman vs. Predator comic. Now, these two are a big part of my childhood, and I found them on Fleabay, and I was really happy to find them. So issue 48 of Simpsons comics and issue 50. I remember Dad and I went on a road trip up to Queensland, and these were my bread and butter to pass the time. I'd read it, both of them cover to cover, go back and read it again, and just like look at the illustrations and like, oh, what's going on there? So I collect old comics, man. I'm not up to date with new comics, unfortunately. I wish I had the time. What's your favorite Hellfire Gala outfit? I don't know if I have one. And reading Dark Knights of Steel. I have heard good things about Dark Knights of Steel. And the Black Adam tie-in, is that, you mean like it's tying into the Black Adam film? Because that would be really cool. If anything, I would probably read that. I do love tie-ins when there's a lead up to a film. I think that's brilliant and a really good idea, especially for people that love reading comics. There was a newly released photo of Dr. Fate today, Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate, and that costume looks so cool. The only thing, and it's going to drive cosplayers insane, me included, because I wanted to do a cosplay of Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate, the helmet has no eyes. I don't know how the hell you'd go about that if like somehow you mounted like a little tiny camera in the crest and had like a little LED screen in the helmet like that so you could walk around. But look, it's cool to see, but for cosplayers, holy shit, what a pain in the ass with no eyes on that helmet. It's like it's interesting, but yeah, you'd have to have like a little LED screen in the helmet that's like right up to there, and you're like, oh man, I can't see shit still. So thank you for that super chat, man. Thank you very much. Let me just cruise on down here, see what's happening. Oh, here he is. Here he is, Ben Ball. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Ball is here of Benable Effects. My dear friend Ben Ball. Look at this tall drink of water. Speaking of which, mate, hydration Stanley. I talk too much. I'm not used to talking so much. And what I hate, sometimes in my videos, if I've been talking for a long time, I get this string of saliva. It's just the way my teeth are. And I'll be editing a video. I'm like, oh God, that looks gross. And I'm just like dry mouth from talking. But everyone, please welcome Ben to the chat. He's a very dear friend of mine. Very dear friend of mine. It's like a brother to me and an absolute talent bag. So Benny at the moment is making a 1-to-1 scale Batfleck bust. I got to see it in person last week and it's absolutely beautiful. Anthony Pilatus, again, I hope I am pronouncing your surname correctly, sir. With Aquaman now releasing after The Flash and Affleck recently filming scenes for the Aquaman reshoots, Affleck back and Keaton a one and done. Very interesting question, my friend. So the reason why they had to get Ben in is because everything got pushed back with Flash and stuff like that. The continuity kind of crossed over with Keaton and Affleck's Bruce Wayne. So that's why they got Ben in as Bruce. And then that video dropped yesterday or the day before of Jason Momoa on a red carpet. And he's just like, Jason Momoa, he's just like, yeah, fuck it, Ben's back. And I was just like, what do you mean Ben's back? Like he did a cameo. Does that mean he's back? Like in the suit back? Like is he... I don't know. So I think now because there's just been a change of guard at Warner Brothers, things are going to be happening, like exciting things. They've got that 10-year plan like Marvel. And I think now because the powers that be are a lot better and a lot more capable, I think that's going to entice Ben back, possibly to do his standalone Batman film with Manganiello as Deathstroke and that script that he wrote. I hope so. Look, I don't want to speak for people. We need to see it. A lot of people want to see it because a lot of people have Affleck as their favorite Batman, myself included. I think now, like I said, because there's a changing of the guard at Warner Brothers, good things are going to be happening. And I'm hoping that all these reshoots, reshuffles of release dates is for a reason. And that's part of their 10-year plan to be like, hey, we're going to push this back. But ultimately, in the long run, it's going to work out. It is sad, though, with what Keaton shot in Batgirl. And now that is just done. Absolutely done. And I don't know if you saw that video of the two directors, the two young men who directed Batgirl. They did a video the other day of their experience when they found out that Batgirl was canceled, that apparently they grabbed their phones and frantically went to film parts of it and they were locked out of the servers, everything. And I don't know if the film's been deleted or it's just under lock and key, like a cryptic lock at Warner Brothers, but no one can get access to that film, not even the directors, which speaks volumes. That's shit, man. That is so shitty. Like, that was their baby. That was the cast and crew's baby. And to just have that taken away from you, it's like having a child snatched from you, man. Like you've poured your heart and soul into it, and to have it just gone. And I wanted to see Brendan Fraser as Firefly and Keaton, obviously, as Batman, but it sucks. It really does suck. So to answer your question, man, I think Affleck, we're going to see a lot more of Affleck. I want to see, obviously, more of Keaton. I hope that something happens where they can involve Keaton once again. Who's to say? But ultimately, with these shufflings, changes, I hope it is long-term for the better. And that whole 10-year plan thing that DC have. So look, I'm all for it, man. To see Affleck back, as soon as I saw him in that selfie with Momoa and he had the Bruce Wayne wig on, because not a lot of people know Affleck wears a wig when he's Bruce Wayne. And I'm like, that's the Bruce Wayne hair. This is brilliant. Yes. So I'm all for it, man. Halloween Kills fan. Hello, Halloween Kills fan. DW. Is that like off Arthur? Hey, DW. Chris, thoughts on Leprechaun? I love Leprechaun. The first one scared the absolute shit out of me. Not just the movie, but the VHS cover when I was a tiny kid. I remember seeing it at the video store. And it's that cover of him like kind of creeping behind the door. And I'm like, Mom, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? So I love the first one. Second one is actually pretty good. Leprechaun in Space is good. Leprechaun in the Hood is actually criminally underrated. It's actually a really good film. And then Leprechaun Back to the Hood. Then there was Leprechaun Origins, which was really fucking stupid. It wasn't even really... Was it Origins? It's where it's like all, POV shot of what the leprechaun sees, and it's just really, really stupid. Really, really stupid. But yeah, I do love it, man. They're like self-aware of how stupid they are, especially Leprechaun in Space. As soon as you take a slasher into space, it gets silly. Not so much with Hellraiser Bloodline. Like obviously you have the time jumps from back in the day, modern day, and then in space. But Leprechaun in Space is just batshit stupid. But I do love him, man. Oh my god. Oh, good lord. Wow, from Things and Stuff donates $50. My god, thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. I'm speechless. Thank you. Your knowledge of horror impresses me. Just sharing the love. Thank you so much. Holy shit, thank you. I get very shy with these things. Thank you so much, Things and Stuff. That's really sweet. I'm gathering you're a horror nut too. That's why I want to do a lot more of these streams, guys, because I do love talking about this stuff because it just comes naturally. I'm a motor mouth when it comes to horror and stuff like that. And I know that I have a YouTube channel called Cosplay Chris, and people expect to see a lot of cosplay stuff and custom collectible stuff. And I do love doing them. They're a lot of work, and sometimes a lot of money. But that's why I love doing these streams. This is just fun to shoot the shit. But dude, that's so sweet. I feel like, can you ask something else? I feel like I just haven't said enough for that. That's really sweet. Thank you very, very much. I get very shy with this stuff. Thank you. But yeah, I just love horror. And it took me and I don't mean to get all soppy and stuff like that, but it took me a long time to kind of come out of the horror closet, because when I was in school, I hit it a lot. You're kind of seen as like the weirdo who likes horror films and, oh, you're going to go out and kill someone one day. And it's not like that. It's actually very healthy. Studies have found to watch horror films. It can be quite cathartic, and just to be like, that's not real, but this is entertainment. This is fun. And you appreciate the work that goes into a horror film, from like in front of the camera, behind the camera, the effects stuff. And I love it all. Like I'll talk your ear off about Freddy. I'll talk your ear off about Michael. And that's obviously why I love doing my Halloween content around Halloween time. So that's why I love doing my like things you didn't know about Freddy's glove, because I used to build Freddy gloves and I know those gloves back to front like a lot of glove builders do. So I just fucking love horror. Like, it's just great. I love doing content on it, even though it doesn't get the views that, say, a custom collectible or a cosplay build / reveal video would, but I love doing it. And that's what they always say, do the content that you love doing, that you love watching. Because I love watching We Watch a Movie. I love watching Jimmy Champagne. I love watching Dave McRae. I love the boys at the Slaughtered Lamb podcast, Frank and Darren. I love have them playing in the background, because it's like talking with mates, even though you're not talking back to them, just having them there and talking about horror. It's brilliant. So Things and Stuff, thank you so much. That's brilliant. Just so kind of you. Thank you. Oh, man. That's so cool. Richie Boone. I'm thinking about dressing as Eddie Munson for Halloween, and I'm thinking about either making an EVA foam, Frankenstrat guitar, or using my real guitar and playing Master of Puppets. Dude, if you can play Master of Puppets on the guitar, do it. Can you imagine that if you had your setup, even if you set up out the front of your house, if I don't know if you're a house or apartment or whatnot, if you're able to set up somewhere with the speaker like Eddie did, imagine you got on the top of a roof like Eddie did at the end of season 4 of Stranger Things, and you're just belting out Master of Puppets. Or even if you're just airplaying, but you've got Master of Puppets going, like, just get into it, man. That's brilliant. But an EVA foam build, I mean, it means like it's going to be lighter if you're carrying it around, if you're going out and about for Halloween, trick-or-treating and stuff like that. But, oh, man, if you could do the setup out the front of your place or somewhere and have the speaker there and just have Master of Puppets blasting, people would love it. People would instantly just be like, him. Like, I would if I could. I can't play the guitar. Years ago, when I was in high school, there was the council cleanup in it. Like, we had a street cleanup where people throw their shit out and the council comes and cleans it up. I found a guitar, an acoustic guitar, and it was missing 3 strings. And I thought I was a rock star. I took it home, sitting in my bed, and I had the one leg up thinking I'm so cool. And I'm like, twanging this thing. And I'm like, I'm a rock star, man, having no idea what the hell I'm doing. So if you can do it, man. Like, if you're cosplaying and you can put on a show and like get into the theatrics of it, do it. Like, do it. It's just so much more fun. Like, just doing the cosplay alone is fun, but to go to that nth degree and just be like, I am Eddie Munson, master, master, no, 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 no. Just, yeah, do it. I'd do it, man, if I were you. See what's going on here. Let me just go down. Oh, things and stuff. Yeah, dude. Nathan. Okay, guys, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I'm sorry. So let me just move these comics out of the way. Things and stuff is Nathan, who built this. And this is what I'm going to be doing my video on next week. So everyone, please say hi to Nathan. The dude is a fucking talent bag and a half. Thank you so. You didn't have to do that, man. Like, this is generous enough as it is. So I'm very excited to show you guys Nathan's process for building this. So I think I've finally found a place for it, man. I might be putting it out in my living room. Just don't tell Chloe that. I'm just going to put it there for when she comes home and she doesn't have a choice. I'm like, it's there now. I'm sorry. So, dude, thanks for that. So actually, guys, if you head on over to Nathan's YouTube channel, Things and Stuff, he's got a half-an-hour video of how he made the house display, so, and as well as some other stuff. So he's severely talented. Yes, guys, thank you. Say hi to Nathan. Show some love for the man, but also show love for everyone else, you know? Okay. Anonymous, hey Chris, I'm going to be working out for around an hour. Do you think you'd still be streaming? Just asking because I hate to miss this stream. I might go for like another half an hour, man, pending, you know, if people are keen. If not, like if people are like, screw this guy, I'm done. But keep in mind that it will be saved, like it'll be uploaded as a video once I finish streaming, man. So keep that in mind. But go have a train, man. Release those endorphins. I really need to train today as well. I haven't trained yesterday. I'm due for one. So I think I've pretty much covered everything. Like, I've obviously shown you guys what needs to be done with Samurai Spawn. We've touched on Halloween Ends with what's been coming out this week, the Fangoria cover, the video that Jamie Lee Curtis did, announcing that not only is it going to be in cinemas, but also it's going to be streaming on Peacock, which I totally get and understand. We also got some new still images. So it seems like the marketing campaign for Halloween Ends is starting to ramp up now, because I think it's 49 days until the film comes out. Like, shit, it felt like yesterday when it was a year until we got the film's release. It was crazy. It feels like yesterday when Halloween Kills came out. I really do love that film. It does have its problems, but oh my God, I love that film. And Hellraiser too. Like, it's going to be interesting to see where Hellraiser goes. When it comes out, I finally check it out. I would love to do a live stream talking about it. And I don't know if they're going to be releasing it episode by episode, or they're just going to dump the whole series, see how they go. Either way, I'm keen for it. It's just anything that's Hellraiser related and they do a good job of it, I'm all for. Read comics. Where'd you go? How do you look back on the time you went to Ironhead Studios? Oh, man. It was half an hour of pure bliss. Absolute pure bliss. And I went there on a whim. So if you've watched the vlog, I touched on it, but I was in LA in 2016 for a con in Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, GeekCon. And I went to LA a few days before just to get myself settled, adjusted to the time zone so I could go to Louisiana and be like fresh as a daisy and not walking around like a zombie, like this guy. And I knew that that Ironhead wasn't far from my hotel. It's in Van Nuys in LA, which is the industrial area of LA. And there's no insignia, no nothing. You wouldn't pick that. Behind those doors, they made Batfleck's suit, they made Clooney's suit, they made Wonder Woman's suit, Spider-Man suit, all that good stuff. And I was with my friend Jed Thomas. He brought his Kill Macau for Jose to sign. And we parked. I had a hire car. And I was shitting myself driving in LA. I'm like, oh my God, everything's opposite. I'm going to die. Parked in the car park. And a lady was getting out of a car in the car park for Ironhand. She goes, hey, can I help you, gentlemen? We're like, oh, look. We're here on a whim. We just wanted to see if we could just say hi to Jose and just say we're fans. That's all. Just for him to come out. We don't want to come in. And she goes, okay, I'll just go get him. We're like, what? 1 minute later, the man himself, Jose fucking Hernandez, comes out. And he was so cool. I introduced myself. Jed introduced himself. He said we're fans. He goes, do you guys want to come in and see what we do? And we're like, yeah. So the first room we went into, you couldn't take photos because it was stuff that they were working on for productions at the time. And then you go into the foyer. I think things have changed since 2016. The foyer where they got Batfleck suit, they got all the Avengers helmets, the Batfleck helmet, the Daft Punk helmets, all on display there. And we just had a really good chat with him. He was really sweet. And I knew that we were like taking up his time because he eventually just goes, all right, we got to get back to work. I'm like, yeah, dude, look, thank you. Goodbye, bye. So it was great. It was so much fun, man. It was inspiring. And then I caught up with him a year later at Monster Palooza 2017. And he remembered me. It was really cool. I was like, oh, the Australian guy, you stopped by the shop last year. I was like, wow, you remembered. That was really cool. And he's really sweet. He's really nice at giving advice. And he doesn't sugarcoat it. He's like, it's a tough slog, but, keep at it if you're keen enough. Ghostface, does your live chat include spoilers? No, it does not at all. I just touch on stuff that's been released. Someone did query about Michael's absence for 4 years, and I didn't go into it, man. So no spoilers. If there are going to be spoilers, I will say at the beginning of the stream, usually there will be spoilers, man. So no, not this time around. Okay, let me just go back a bit. Levi IM, will you ever do a Green Arrow cosplay? I don't think I'd do it justice, man. First and foremost, I haven't watched Arrow. I've watched a couple of episodes years ago and they were fine. Again, with a lot of series, I'll watch a few episodes and be like, that was cool. I just don't have the time to commit. So I don't think I'd do it justice because I'm not familiar with the mythology or watching the show. But everyone I've spoken to really loves Arrow. And I love Stephen Amell. I love Robbie Amell. They seem like really cool dudes. I just didn't get around to watching it all, man. So I don't feel I could do it justice. I just don't think it'd be fair for people who are hardcore fans of Green Arrow. Okay. Okay, how do I pronounce this? Toad Tiger A6. Big fan of your custom collectibles over the years. I also start doing this on my spare time recently. Sculpted and repainted a Freddy Krueger statue. Took me a couple of days. Thanks for your inspiration. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. What statue did you resculpt? Be interested to see. I really owe it to myself to do a Freddy custom collectible. So I'd like to know what statue you resculpted, man. Resculpting is, it's a tricky one with a custom collectible. Especially where like a head sculpt's concerned. I've got in pieces, I don't know if you guys remember the 18-inch McFarlane Toys Freddy motion activated figure from early 2000s. I wanted to repaint him and have the sweater look a lot closer to that color scheme and redo the burns and redo the hat so it's his proper Stenson fedora and stuff like that. But I never got around to it. And the head sculpt is really off. So much so I'd probably have to get, actually, that's not a bad idea. I could do a smaller scale version of that, print that, and then put that on the figure. Now you got me thinking. Thanks, man. But I do want to know what Freddy statue you resculpted. There's some cracker ones out there with like a lot of potential too. So that's awesome, man. Good on you. Like, yeah, I really need to get back into sculpting. It's like drawing. If you don't flex the muscle, if you don't use it, you lose it. Birmingham Spidey, you nailed Cap. Love both your suits. Would you ever do another? Maybe a concept version. I know White Sheep and Leather Fashion Valley do some. Maybe, man. I would like to do the stealth version, possibly down the track. But at the moment, like the next big Marvel one is Wolverine. I got the Wolverine suit from Leather Fashion Valley, their yellow one, their comic one. And I'm going to be doing a video on doing, starting here and here we are. So essentially it's like a big custom collectible and I want to, darken it, soil it, add buckles and stuff, and then get the claws, the cowl, and do a comic Wolverine. Because obviously, pardon me, gassy again. I've done the Jackman Wolverine, done the Midnight Suns one recently, but I haven't done the comic one. So I definitely want to do that, man. But in terms of Cap, probably stealth. But that's about it for now. I wouldn't say I'm capped out. I wouldn't say I've reached my cap. But I feel like stealth, and then I'd call it a day on Cap for now anyway. Definitely for now. Okay. Devil Eyes Media. Hi, Chris. When will you upload the Halloween Kills coveralls custom collectible video? So someone asked that earlier in the stream. Ideally, if I do have time this coming week, I want to film that and then edit it and hopefully have that out the following week. If not, the following week, film it and then have it ready to go probably that week. Also, I really need to make sure my method is going to work for the burn section with what I'm going to be doing. It's going to be like some liquid latex and stuff like that and like a gloss because it is quite glossy, that burn area. So expect it next couple of weeks. And I definitely need to get it out there. I've been meaning to. If you've just tuned in, I've got a commission for PlayStation at the moment. I've got 2 sets of Michael Myers hands I've got to make and ship out from my Etsy store. So I'll be aiming to do things and then things come up. I'm like, oh shit, it's like Batman Arkham City. You got to do one thing and then you get the side quests and you got to go back to the main one. So yeah, next couple of weeks, definitely expect that. And I do need to get them done. Unthinkable 9, you would make a great Cable cosplay from Deadpool 2. I have thought for ages about doing the Brolin Cable cosplay. There's just a lot going on with that costume. It's one of those things where I'd need to go on the RPF and look at all the make and model parts that you can acquire, and his gun too. Like, that gun consists of so many parts, and someone made one using the same make and model parts a couple of years ago, and it looked cracker. But I love Brolin's take on Cable. Brolin just has that look, man, especially the way they shaved his head, the eye, the makeup, and he just got shredded for it. Like, props to him. Like, for his age too, he's like shredded in that film. He looks great. He looks the part. So yeah, I actually thought about that the other day. I was like, man, I wish I'd have done Cable. Like, there's still time. He can do it in his late 40s. Was he late 40s when he played Cable? I think. Ghostfaced. I won't give any spoilers, but what are your thoughts of the Halloween franchise continuing after David Gordon Green's trilogy? Like I spoke about before, man, I would love them to go the anthology route, especially maybe redo Halloween 3 and just call it Season of the Witch, or Halloween Presents Season of the Witch. But I definitely think a Halloween Presents anthology series would be great. And I think now you just have to call it a day. Like, after Halloween ends, the rights revert back to Trancas. Malika Card has it, and then people can approach him with their pitch. But as far as Jason Blum, David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, all as far as they're concerned, they're done after ends. They've told their story. Someone may pick it up and reboot it again. I don't want that. This needs to be a definitive end to the Laurie Strode and Michael Myers saga. Otherwise, it's just going to be beating a dead horse. And I like what Hugh Jackman said when he did Logan. And everyone's like, why did you hang up the claws? And he's like, I got the advice from Jerry Seinfeld. You have to end with stuff still left in the tank. You still have to have ideas, but if you feel the time now is to wrap up, do it. You don't want to go stale. And I feel after Halloween Kills, because it left people divided, fans divided, I feel like it's a make or break situation with Halloween Ends. And I want it to do well. I really want it to do well. And then if it's one of those things where it's the best Halloween film ever, we want more. And David Gordon Green's like, nope, that's it. I'd be like, smart. Yes, done and dusted. And Trancas is like, nope, that's on its own. That's its thing. And people love it for that. And that's all I want. Do the anthology thing. Like Fear Street and what is it? Tales that tell in the dark, or something like that. Something like that, like a real rated R version of Goosebumps. Halloween Presents. That's what I want, man. Yeah, definitely. Destiny Mindset. Hey, Chris, what are your thoughts on Bill Skarsgård being cast as Eric Draven for the new Crow remake? Too bad we won't see Momoa and Hardy, but I think he's a perfect fit for the role. I agree 100%. I would have loved to have seen Momoa. We obviously got that test footage that Momoa did walking around the streets with all the makeup. He looks the part. He's got the hair for it. And it's cool to see like a jacked Crow. But Skarsgård, yes, I am all for it. Like, he was a great Pennywise. Like, you can't compare Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise's portrayals, because they're just completely different. Even though they're, both, psychopathic, mass murdering entity clown from another planet who fights a giant turtle, if you've read the books. I think he'll be great, because he's, God, like, the guy can act. The guy is an amazing actor, and he's his work ethic when he's an actor is brilliant, and I think he's at like facial features wise, he looked great in the makeup. And I think Boss Logic did a mock up of Skarsgård as the Crow, and I'm like, yeah, he looks great, so I'm keen for it. I didn't know Tom Hardy was in talks originally. I remember when Bradley Cooper was set to be the Crow, and they had all the concept art ready to go, and then that went belly up with him, and then they brought Momoa in, and then that went belly up. But then we got obviously that test footage of Momoa, and it looked great. Like he really looked like the Crow, just like I'm the Crow, just jacked. But Skarsgård has that more lean aesthetic, which, you know, if you know the source material, that's what the Crow is. You know, very lean, athletic rock star kind of look. So I'm all for it, man. I think he'll be a great Crow. I don't know what the update with that is at the moment, whether it's pre-production or they're about to shoot. But nonetheless, I'm keen for it. Where are we? Where are we? Let me just go down. Okay. Cool. I'm just playing catch up. Excuse me, guys. Let's be frank. Hey, Chris, I've been watching you for a few years now, and I think you are incredible. I wanted to ask your thoughts on the Legend of the White Dragon, or do you know what it is? Well, firstly, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Legend of the White Dragon, that is Jason David Frank's vehicle, isn't it? If I'm correct, playing Tommy from the Power Rangers. Is that with Bat in the Sun? If you guys know Bat in the Sun, they always do the superhero mashups and fights and stuff like that. So is that what Bat in the Sun is doing? If it is, I don't know. Like, I haven't been, I've only seen photos of Jason David Frank in the costume. I don't know if that's supposed to be a web series or like a short film or a crowd-funded thing. But I'm really like impressed that he's kept the not the facade, but just like he's embracing being Tommy, the Power Ranger, which is really cool after all these years. Because at one point he still does MMA fighting. The guy's nuts. The guy's like still in crazy shape after all these years, and he's all like tatted up. And I like that. Like that's a cool pitch. Like, you know, Tommy's all tatted up and stuff like that, and he's like a MMA fighter, but still a Power Ranger on the side. So if that's what I think you're thinking of, man, yeah, I would keen for it. It's cool when actors embrace a certain role they're known for and not like shun it. Like after all these years, they're like, hell yeah, I was fucking green/white ranger, man. Like I'm Tommy, the Power Ranger. That's really cool. So if that is what I'm pretty sure Bat in the Sun is doing that one, I think, or they're in cahoots or something like that. Anthony Politis, do you think Cavill is going to be in Black Adam? Rumors say he filmed recently, maybe for a post-credit scene. I believe he is, man. They're just really keeping it under wraps because The Rock did post a very kind of cryptic post saying, I hear you, I see you, we're going to make this right. And it was a photo of Henry Cavill's Superman crest. It's a given. Like it's seriously, excuse me, I'm just going to have a drink of water. But if it's Black Adam, they have to have Superman in there. And it's got to be Cavill Superman. The Rock knows. And Cavill wants to be Superman. Apparently, he's just very standoffish at the moment because he hasn't been given the right pitch, I believe. That's just what I've heard anyway. Have a sip of water, guys. Keep hydrated. Nick's Animations. Is the Lightyear suit coming soon? It is like Samurai Spawn, my friend, when I can get to it. I definitely want to do it. Just the logistics of it are huge. Like it's a big, big undertaking. So of course, I want to do it. I want to see it through. It's just going to be like Samurai Spawn when I can get to it. And in my initial announcement video, I said, oh, I'd love to have it done by the premiere. I think I would have had a nervous breakdown if I had tried to have attempt to get it done before the premiere, and it would have been rushed. It's one of those things where, you know, Miles and I have to get together, really nut it out because we have to scale the files down. We got a brand new 3D scan of myself so we can scale down all the files just to make sure they're all going to fit well and not look too bulky. Like I know the armor is bulky on its own, but I think I think it would just be too much if it's too bulky. I love it more aesthetically, like hugging the body. I think it really looks badass that way. So eventually, man, it will happen. I just don't want to say when and just set myself up and set you up for disappointment, because I've done that in the past where I've done these cosplay announcements and I'm like, yep, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Nothing happens because A, I get distracted, B, I lose interest, or C, I have other things come up with commissions, campaigns, and stuff like that. So that's just brutal honesty for you, man. It will happen. What's the saying? It may not happen overnight, but it will happen. Preston Art, who is your favorite superhero of all time? Batman. Batman, through and through. Alaric Klingshroom. I hope I pronounced that correct. The Crow remake is filming right now, and I think filming will end next month. Oh, hell yeah. So there you go. They're filming it right now, which is brilliant. And they're really keeping that one under wraps. Like no set photos, no nothing, no leaked photos of Skarsgård in the makeup, which is a disappointment. I want to see that. So yeah, that's good. That's really good. I'm keen for that. Destiny Mindset. Since Affleck is back to film his cameo in Aquaman now, and with the Batgirl film has been cancelled, do you think it's possible he will be DC's main Batman and we can hopefully see solo film? Yeah, so I touched on that before. Absolutely. I think now that the powers that be have changed at Warner Brothers and things are happening, I definitely think Warner Brothers are like, we need Affleck at the moment. And I think Affleck's like, they need me at the moment and I want to be here at the moment. So I think because he has a better working relationship with who's in charge now, I definitely think we're going to be seeing more of him. If it gets to the point where they're going to be doing his solo film, yeah, I want to see that. I want to see him and Deathstroke hand their nutsacks to each other. I want them to emulate that scene from the Arkham Origins trailer at the loading docks at Gotham with the cargo containers and Batman versus Deathstroke. I want that. I really, really want that. Oh, man. So, yeah, I think he's here to stay. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let me just go back up here. Just play catch up. Okay. I think I might start wrapping it up very shortly, guys. This has been wonderful. This has been a wonderful turnout, actually. I'm thinking long term when I do schedule live streams to do it like half an hour before. I think that kind of just gets people's interest percolating. I'd like to think anyway, instead of scheduling like days before, because I understand people be like, oh, cool, like he's going live, but not for 2 days. Fuck it. I'll get to it when I can. And also, I like kind of being spur of the moment where if something comes up, like, oh, I want to talk about that. I'm going to go live, da-da-da. And originally, I was just going to be talking about Halloween Ends today, but then because I got Samurai Spawn out and I'm going to be working on him, I'm like, let's showcase Samurai Spawn as well. So, yeah, I definitely want to kind of schedule these live streams with a much more quicker turnaround time, like whether it be an hour or half an hour before I go live. And that way also I can just be in the mindset, good to go. Because I feel like if I schedule a live stream, which I obviously have done from day one, a couple of weeks ago, days beforehand, I forget stuff that I need to say. So I just feel that works better. I'm more off the cuff and like more in the moment. That's what I find anyway. Read comics. That means we need Shazam 3 to be Shazam and Superman versus Black Adam. Yeah, 100%. And I've seen some beautiful fan edits of Zachary Levi, Henry Cavill, and The Rock in their suits battling each other. It has to happen. Like if you had any bit, like a shred of common sense, you would do that, let alone have Cavill in Black Adam. It has to happen, man. 100%. Phil about do it the morning of. Yeah, absolutely. Keep in mind, man, I also have to be aware of like time zones. So ideally going live at 11 a.m. here in Sydney works really well because it's 6 p.m. most parts of the States, I think. I'm pretty sure it's just trying to convert the top of my head. And it just seems like everyone's maybe like at home, chilling, stuff like that, and want to come in and shoot the shit with me. I just feel that works best. So I obviously can't stream early morning for me because it's like middle of the day and, you know, people might be at work and, you know, you miss out on that opportunity to get amongst it when I'm live and stuff like that. So I think that works best. 9 p.m. here. There you go. Exactly. Kind of like, you know, prime time for live and stuff like that. Like I do know like Flick Pick goes live around this time. Even later, like God, he goes to like midnight sometimes, and it's perfect because it's late afternoon when he goes live, and I'm home, I'm working on stuff, so I'll have, you know, Johnny Boy playing in the background. Hey there, guys, how are you? Working with a Flick Pick Live. He's gonna get magical, mystical. Don't get scared now. And I love it. It's just great. So, like vice versa with Jimmy Champagne, Frank, Darren, Slaughtered Lamb, Dave McRae, stuff like that. So yeah, guys, I think I might wrap it up. This has been absolutely brilliant. A massive thank you to everyone for your wonderful super chats. Nathan, thank you so much, man. Like I said, guys, look out for the video next week of showcasing Nathan's wonderful 3D house poster representation. I'm going to be chipping away on Samurai Spawn. I'm going to actually go out this afternoon and get that special spray adhesive for this bodysuit. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's been wonderful. It's been great. It's been fun. And I definitely want to be doing more of these. As I say, I'm finding my groove once again. Mum, come over for some fizz. Sounds good. But guys, yes, thank you so much. Have yourselves an absolute cracker weekend, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you're tuning in after the fact, hope you enjoy this live stream, and hopefully have some more live streams for you next week. And try and do this once a week. It's a lot of fun. It's very cathartic for me. I like getting my thoughts out there like this in the moment. But yeah, guys, cosplayers do it best. Take care of yourselves. Have an absolutely wonderful weekend. And thank you once again for tuning in. I'll speak with you guys soon. Take care. Bye, guys.